what do you think the impacts were of playing so many sports? And it's funny because I see that correlation you make with soccer. I think there's some weird confound with Europeans because there were some Polish guys on the team that had never formally played soccer, but could dribble a ball better than any North American that I'd ever met.
Yeah.
And it's just a thing in Europe that everyone plays soccer. Everyone has their favorite soccer teams.
Yeah.
Everyone's
They're
yelling
like
at each other.
crazy about it.
Yeah.
They're insane about
It's
it.
really funny. It's really very interesting.
Yeah. My soccer skills definitely developed a little bit when I was over there, just dribbling around in the gym before games. Like, yeah. Because when you're in the US, when you're like messing around and have some free time on the volleyball court, everybody turns and starts shooting baskets and play basketball. And over in Europe, everybody would just start playing soccer. It's kind of funny.
It's interesting because I think that all of these different sports can add up in one sport.
Yeah.
Basketball and volleyball seem to be in different fields or different areas in terms of that. But what I'm thinking about is baseball, and some of the guys with the livest arms, the fastest arm swings that I've seen in volleyball used to be baseball pitchers or baseball players. And then, like you said, with soccer, a lot of it's footwork. And I played a ton of lacrosse growing up.
Yeah, but same thing. Like a lot of because in those sports like lacrosse and soccer, you're making crazy cuts to like change your direction. And when you're at the net in volleyball or even back row, it's the exact same thing. So it's like when you've been doing that your whole life, you haven't learned the footwork of volleyball yet by chance, but like making a 3-step swing approach out to your right is the same as like making a cut over in soccer or a cut in lacrosse to go and give your opportunity for a goal. Like your feet are going to know what it's doing. So I think like for me, I think if you're somebody who enjoys sports, I'm not going to say everybody should play sports. Like there's some people that's just not their realm. They like their own kind of thing. But if you're somebody who's into sports and wants to play sports, especially growing up, you got to play like 1,000 things. Play as much as you can. Because then also if you get into a situation where if I had only played volleyball my whole life growing up, I never played another sport competitively, like the odds of me being burnt out and not wanting to keep going at the point where I am right now, where I'm 23 and I've been playing for 10 years, add it and make it 18 years that I've been playing that. And that's the only thing I've ever done. Eventually you're probably going to get burnt out. So it's nice, especially when you're growing up, to have like that diversity and then be able to narrow down where you want to go.
Do you think there's an optimal age for that specialization or level?
See, that's where it gets really tough, especially with volleyball. Since there's a lot of late starters in volleyball, a lot of guys don't put down their other sport until they're like offered for college or something, because they've only been playing volleyball 2 or 3 years. But now with the growth that it has and a lot of young guys doing it, I never want to tell people not to, because there's plenty of guys that I know that are incredible volleyball players who stuck with like football, or in Maryland, we play in the fall, so you can play football and volleyball, but they would do volleyball, like hockey and baseball, and they stuck all 3 out and then would go on to play baseball. So I don't know if it's really a set time. You can kind of do it either way, but I do feel like for me personally, there was a point for me where I kind of cut everything out and it was all zoned in on volleyball. And I don't think I would have gotten college offers that I got had I not done that. But also the correlation that I had from baseball, I was a pitcher in baseball and I played second base. I was like the worst hitting player you've ever seen. I couldn't hit worth a shit. My dad would give me the bunt sign every time I got into the box. So I went straight to pitching, because pitchers don't have to hit. You get DH, you're expected to be a shitty hitter. I was like, this is my role. And I was a pretty solid pitcher, but I think that the mechanics and everything and the arm strength that comes from that is the reason why, knock on wood, that my shoulder's been strong through my volleyball career so far and not really had too many tweaks or anything. It's just because going through all those mechanics and throwing a baseball 80 miles an hour 1,000 times every single day for like years, it's like you're building some crazy strength.
Yeah, you make a very interesting point about beginning that when you're young as well. I know that long distance runners have more cartilage in their knees, especially if they start young. So that's an interesting epigenetic correlation, where the younger you are and you start something, you're already developing not only movement and athletic literacy, but you're also building yourself up to do that thing for an extended period of time.
Yeah, your body kind of like evolves to like the situation. Kind of when you put yourself in that situation 5 days a week, like we were just saying, for so long, like your body's going to adjust. So like you said, with the runners, they get more cartilage in their knee because their knees are getting beat up every single day when they go on a run. And not necessarily beat up in a bad way, but like building kind of like either a scar tissue or something to help like ground yourself. And it's extremely, that's another reason why I say to do multiple sports. Cause there's one where in soccer you can get really strong legs, in baseball you can get a really strong shoulder, in something like lacrosse your stamina is through the roof. It's like there's so many benefits to take from other sports, and then when you narrow down on that one that you really enjoy or really want to commit to, I think it just only will increase your kind of arsenal that you have.